Thank you for joining us for this 13 Plus FastCast. I'm Carson Courier. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We have First Alert forecaster Allie Potter here with us.
For you.
It has been. Allie, kind of you are tracking the possibility of more storms today. I know yesterday was calmer and then today going to ramp back up.
Yeah, so, we actually ended up having an active evening later on than yesterday. So today may be a little bit calmer, but the winds, though, going to be the biggest focus right now. You can kind of see it take place right now on Mount Bigelow. Those trees really blowing there at the moment. So those gusty winds, look at this later on, though. 30 miles per hour if you're in Tucson, 24 for Benson, 17 for the Safford area, increasing even more so as we hit the afternoon. 38 for Tucson, 13 for Benson, 18 for Wilcox, 32 for Casa Grande, 27 miles per hour if you're in the Safford area. As we head into that 4 o'clock hour, 32 miles per hour for Tucson, 22 for Benson, 14 for Nogales, 16 for Wilcox, and pretty much sticking to that 15 to 30 mile per hour range throughout the rest of our day. And this is all because of Harold, mind you. Passing through has definitely dissipated. However, we're starting to see now the remnants of Harold as he moves now through New Mexico. So that just means gusty winds, cooler temperatures, and that slight chance for rain. 89 degrees at the Tucson International Airport, 75 if you're in Safford, 82 for Sierra Vista, 87 in Marana, 83 for Benson, the 70s for our friends down in Bisbee. Taking a live look at our satellite radar right now, any type of rain activity is literally coming from the east and moving west. So the Safford area seeing a little bit of those showers, and then parts of Douglas getting their fair share at the moment, but pretty much just still hanging around New Mexico. Guess what, folks? We are adding even more so to our rain totals. A total so far of our monsoon 2023, drum roll please, 4.31 inches.
Woohoo, that's great.
That is amazing. So by this time, we should really be at 3.78 inches. So we're doing awesome. We were a little behind, of course. It's been a very dry monsoon. However, the last couple of days have really helped us out there. That means that we are above where we should be, which no one is complaining at all. 4.31 inches, and Nogales, though, a little behind the bar there. Look at that, 3.92 inches of rain. Safford, Sierra Vista, Wilcox, Picacho Peak, and Ajo. We need to get some rain in your area. Hopefully later today, that'd be some great news. So let's time it out around 2:15 though this afternoon. Seeing a little bit more on the east side of Tucson, and then Wilcox, Sierra Vista, a little bit in Bisbee. Sticking with Metro Tucson around 3, Sierra Vista, Tombstone, Bisbee, Wilcox, and then really going to Marana. We saw some gusty winds and that rain here at our station in Marana yesterday. That was great to see, but then we'll dry out by that evening hour. So 94 degrees for the high today, so enjoy the cooler temperatures, loving the 90s. 81 if you're in Sierra Vista, 88 for Nogales, Douglas, 80. The best chance for rain will obviously be in Cochise County for today. That 7-day forecast, the 90s sticking around, but honestly, not too much longer, unfortunately. Triple digits making a comeback by Friday, 101, and then 102 by Saturday, 104 by Sunday, and continuing. So, yeah, the triple digits are back, but folks, enjoy the 94 because we're going to jump 10 degrees by Monday.
Thank you, Allie. Definitely enjoy those 90s while we can. Turning now to a developing story. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani will turn himself in to authorities in Georgia. Giuliani is among the 19 people, which includes the former president charged with election fraud in Georgia. He faces 13 counts, which includes racketeering. Several other defendants already turned themselves in. The former president is expected to turn himself in tomorrow. Happening tonight now, the first Republican presidential debate. It's really the first big event of the 2024 presidential cycle. While the frontrunner, former President Trump, won't be there, there will be millions of eyes on the other candidates looking toward next November. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is in second place in virtually every poll. He'll be center stage since the runner, former President Donald Trump, will not be there. DeSantis expected to face attacks from really all sides. And while Mr. Trump won't be there, many of these are all but certain to talk about his record and the 4 criminal indictments he is facing. We know North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum may not attend the debate. This is after he suffered a high-grade Achilles tear while playing a game of pickup basketball with his staff. Now, we'll continue watching that for you. That debate again starts tonight at 6. The debate will be on Fox News. It will last for about 2 hours. Taking a look now to the latest in Maui, the death toll stands at 115, with more than 700 people still unaccounted for. The recovery effort is now moving to what is left on multi-story buildings. Maui officials say all single-level buildings have been searched. The Maui Fire Department says there remains a couple active wildfires in the area, but those fires are not growing and there is no active fire threat to people or buildings. So some good news there. Now, we've heard all about what was destroyed, but our reporter here, Jim Mendoza, he has a story about something that really seems to be a miracle. One building that was really left unscathed. He has the story.
When the wind-driven wildfires roared through Lahaina, the flames surrounded Maria Lanakila Catholic Church, just a stone's throw from Front Street. Monsignor Terence Watanabe says the church was surrounded.
Everything around it was on fire.
But an amazing thing happened. The flames skirted the sanctuary. This is how Maria Lanakila Church looks today. The structure virtually untouched, despite how close it sits to homes and buildings that burned to the ground. Inside, it appears as if the fire never happened.
When Father went in 2 days after the fire and took some of those pictures that you have, the flowers were not even withered and they were still fresh looking, and it's amazing. I mean, for us, it was a miracle.
These are the interior photographs he's talking about. The sanctuary and altar, pews, paintings, flowers, and statues all escaped destruction. But the Catholic Church didn't go unscathed. Other structures on the ground sustained significant damage, including the parish hall and convent, the church preschool, and 2 school buildings.
That part burned. So everything except the rectory and the church, everything behind the church, was affected by the fire.
Monsignor Terence Watanabe is the vicar for Maui, the bishop's representative on the Valley Isle.
I'm the point person for the recovery and really helping people to come back, and helping the pastor there, Father Kurikose, to deal with all the day-to-day stuff, because he's really busy trying to assist and help the people of his parish and the people of Lahaina.
Understandably, it will be a long time before Maria Lanakila reopens for services in Lahaina. In the meantime, it's holding them at Sacred Hearts Church in Kapalua.
So they're having services out there. Father has his office out there. So they've kind of set that up as the new parish center for now.
And arrangements are being made to set up the church's preschool through 8th grade campus at another site.
We're trying to set up a school in Kapalua on the Maui land and Pineapple Company land. They have a couple of buildings there that they're going to lease to us so that we might be able to, at least help the parents with the children.
Catholic churches and organizations on Maui and elsewhere continue to offer assistance to Maria Lanakila and the rest of the Valley Isle.
We've already collected over $50,000 just in our parish, not to mention all the other parishes on the island who are also going to help with whatever financial resources they have. And, it's just been incredible response.
Father Watanabe sees Maria Lanakila Catholic Church as a beacon of hope for survivors of the Lahaina fire. But he's quick to add, it's just a building.
We always have to remember the church is really the people of God, not the building. So, we're more concerned about people's welfare and their well-being and their safety.
I'm Jim Mendoza for Hawaii News Now.
And now to a story we've been following for months. TUSD's cyber shutdown. Just last night, we're learning more about what the hacker group Royal stole. Our own Alex Valdez has a closer look in his story.
Individual file-by-file review of around 1 million individual documents was completed searching for any employee or student, past or current, private, confidential identifying information.
TUSD Superintendent Dr. Gabriel Trujillo says there is no evidence any data has been misused. The attack cost the district millions, having to restore computers, recovering data, and boosting security measures to keep this from happening again.
It's going to be technology, as you all know, constantly changes, and so it's an ongoing journey. And what has happened through this is our security posture has definitely been heightened, strengthened, and it's not just the technology itself. It's a shift in processes and behavior.
The district says it is making several improvements moving forward to ensure those on campus are aware of attacks. Officials say all faculty and staff will have a mandatory cybersecurity training twice a year. The district is also working with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to implement security safety measures, as well as putting in place periodic testing of the district's network and infrastructure systems. In addition, TUSD says they have a new cloud migration strategy, which will transfer sensitive files such as student information, transportation routes, human resources information, and other sensitive data to a cloud-based storage.
This is a way to go for the reasons I explained, the security and the flexibility for the data and all our systems. And this will be an ongoing transition, an ongoing upgrade for this year and for years to come as well.
And we have Valerie Cavazos with us this morning. Now, Valerie, you've been investigating this attack since it first happened months ago.
Yeah, we're talking the end of last school year.
Wow.
So, I mean, a lot has happened. But going back to Alex's story, everything that was stated in the board meeting, and those were the two gentlemen that I had interviewed prior.
Yeah.
They are responsible for anything that is cyber related. And the thing is that everything that they've talked about was something they should have done before the attack.
Yeah.
So now they're playing catch up. And they have been doing that since that attack. They already had all of this in motion. But this is something that I believe a lot not only just the TUSD community, but just in general, every district. TUSD was just one of the biggest hit. They were not the only one hit in this state even, and even in our region. So this happens to schools, this happens to the county, this happens to the city. I mean, it happens all over the place. Are you prepared? So in my investigation, we revealed, and they admitted that they were not prepared. They were sleeping at the wheel. There were a lot of warnings that came down from the feds, and they did not heed those warnings. Now we'll say, well, COVID came in, and we were worried about the remote learning.
Yeah.
But then you would want to then boost up the protections, right?
Exactly.
So this is a complicated thing for them to have to deal with, and we know that districts struggle for money and all of that. So can you totally blame TUSD? In this particular case, I think the only thing that people criticized to TUSD was the lack of information going out to the community.
Yeah, exactly, which you kind of were explaining to me. That's one of your investigations that you've done. You went to them and you're like, hey, some private information might have been gotten from these students, these parents. Shouldn't we send out a warning?
Right. Because even if they threatened Royal, the ransomware attackers, they had said that they had this information. They had 290 gig worth of information. Do you believe them? I had interviewed an expert, a cybersecurity expert, who have seen these cases nationwide. So the question is not just did they, but could they have? And as long as the answer is they could have, that information could be compromised, then you take all the measures, the same type of measures that you would if it was indeed confirmed that it was. And we're seeing today, here we're months later, we're seeing that 29,000 letters to these families are going out because they've then have deemed those compromised. So there was a lot of I do know from very credible sources inside the district, as well as some parents, that some of their information has been compromised prior to them knowing this. So we're talking months ago, they saw it in their accounts. They saw certain things. So, so the extent of this is not known yet. But here's the thing that parents really need to understand is that because kids don't have credit yet, because, you know, if their information, their social security numbers and all of that is compromised, they may not see the triggers. They might not see the warnings, the alarms until 10 years down the road or 5 years down the road when they're looking for student loans, when they're looking for, you know, credit cards, when they get, you know, when they're old enough to do that, especially when they go into college. So this is something that was incredibly serious that everybody can learn from. It's not just TUSD, but everybody. So I have a 6-part series on this, and it kind of walks through everything, what happened at TUSD, why. Again, they said that they dropped the ball, and they should have done more. So it was a little too little too late at this point. So the series kind of explains it all, and I think, you know, not only just for TUSD parents, that maybe just districts in general. So it's kind of an informational piece as well.
Lastly, Valerie, I wanted to talk about, you actually brought this up to the state level about how other schools could learn from TUSD. If you could talk a little bit about what you learned there. TUSD
was the biggest district hit in the state. And so although there have been some at various districts and large districts, even in Phoenix, but it was by far the largest. And so they asked for the I guess, amount that this Royal, the attackers, they ask anywhere between $250,000 to $1 million to release or to secure the information, get back. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen. No. But so they were the largest, shut down the entire district, and so was the district. So my question was, is the state doing enough to prepare? We have found out that the state did have something, but it was on the Homeland Security. They had mentioned that as well with Homeland Security. Homeland Security had done some things, but, you know, they also didn't have enough grants to get to all of the districts and even the information. So it was there, but it wasn't utilized. TUSD didn't utilize that. So now that information is out and that help is there. But also, what about the Department of Education? So the State Department of Education. So they relied on Homeland Security. It's just not enough. So schools and districts absolutely need help, and that includes charter schools too. And they're chains of charter schools, and so they really do need that information, and the districts really need to heed the warnings of, you know, all the feds had sent down information about this coming. And these types of groups, they're highly, highly sophisticated. So they were sending this information down prior to this ransomware attack because it was happening to others. So every district needs to heed these warnings and take it seriously. And the community needs to understand, well then, if more money is needed to ramp up the security measures, then that might be an investment that the entire community needs to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Valerie. We're going to show everyone all your different stories you've done right here on our website, but thank you for explaining that.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And these are those investigations we were just mentioning that Valerie mentioned here. You can see this is our website. To get to this page, all you have to do is click the hamburger button in the left-hand corner here on KOLD.com. You'll find KOLD Investigate. Scroll down, you'll see all of these stories here. These are the different stories that Valerie has done since this broke back in April. These are just a few on your screen. There's numerous there. You can also subscribe to us on 13 News YouTube and watch all of those stories there. So a lot of good information to follow this morning. In lighter news now, trending now, despite our hot temperatures, Starbucks says fall is already here. The coffee chain's famous pumpkin spice latte returns on Thursday. It includes espresso, we know non-fat milk, pumpkin spice sauce, all the good stuff that reminds us of fall. An iced apple crisp oat milk shaken espresso will also be included in these new fall drinks. There's also an iced pumpkin cream chai tea latte. Lots of yummy drinks there. Definitely, if you're tuning in on Facebook, comment your favorite fall drink, your favorite Starbucks drink. Now, we know there are some different businesses here that try to compete with Starbucks this time of year to beat their pumpkin spice latte. Those different places are Krispy Kreme. They're going to debut there soon, and Dunkin' Donuts. So lots to look forward to heading into this fall season. We will leave you with this shot out to Mount Bigelow on a Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for watching this 13 Plus FastCast. I'm Carson Courier. We'll have more news and weather coming up at 2:30. Thanks for watching.